What's up, folks? I want to start off by just asking how you guys are doing. Hopefully, your summer is off to a great start. And if you are still doing summer school, power through it. You got this. If you are done with summer school like I am, good for you. Hopefully, you are taking some time to actually chill out and reset and refresh for the next school year. If this is going to be your first year teaching like me, also make sure that you are taking some time to chill out, um, because the school year is going to come whether we like it or not. And I don't know if you're as excited about it as I am, but I have been doing a lot. So I have to remind myself to just take a pause. In any case, I digress. I wanted to take a little bit of time now. My son is sleeping, my husband's at work, so just wanted to take a little bit of time this evening to go over what I have so far for my classroom. So here we go. First and foremost, I'm going to go with the functional things that I have for my classroom. So a wireless or cordless hot glue gun. Definitely going to be using this. I saw a lot of tips online about how teachers were using painter's tape, putting the painter's tape up and then putting hot glue on what they were going to hang up in their classrooms, and then they would stick it on, so when the end of the year came and it was time to swap things or take things off, they just were ripping off painter's tape, came off, no craziness. So this is definitely going to be a must. Going to get a lot of use out of this. Next functional item I have, let me open this box. I saw this on, I want to say her page is called Teaching on Sunshine. Super great page if you haven't. She's so full of life and I love watching her videos. But she had one of these. I have to put it together still. But it's essentially you stick this thing comes out and it turns into one of those little flop things like straws, but you put your pencils in here. So then once they're in there, ooh, that was loud. Once it's in there and they're loaded and I put this together, the kids can press down and a new pencil will pop out. So this is where my sharpened pencils are going to be. And then I will have, which has not come yet, but I'm going to have one of those little black cups, and that's where all the dull pencils will be. So I'll have my sharp sign on this one, and on my tiny black cup I will have the dull sign. So I'm going to set that up as part of my classroom routines and procedures. I might do that in another video because there's still a work in progress, but I'm mostly done. So that out of the way. Next thing that I have, ooh, this is kind of heavy, for functionality, are clipboard dry erase, dry erase clipboard. So I decided to get these just because there's usually not enough clipboards in the school that I'm at. When I was in the classroom before the school year ended, there wasn't a whole lot in there, so I decided to just have these on hand. There also usually aren't enough whiteboards. I don't know about you guys' schools, but my school, typically there's not enough whiteboards. So I was like, why not get the best of both worlds? And then this one also came with the erasers. So the erasers, Jesus, the erasers are included. So I have 30 boards and I have 30 erasers to go with them. So it was kind of like a package thing, which is nice because now I don't have to worry about not having enough. So there's that. In this box right here, which I'm not going to open right now, it has those little magnet trays that you use to put books on the whiteboard. So that's what that is. Of course, I just wasted all the things out. Story of my life. But of course I have my teacher toolbox. Clearly before I use this, I will make sure to put all of these back in there. But nevertheless, teacher toolbox. I'm not going to do that right now because it's just going to take a lot of time. Let me get all these containers out of the way. It's nighttime, y'all. Bear with me. Okay, functional items. There was something else. Oh, here, right? So this, my classroom theme is like nature and stuff like that, like very cool, calm, tranquil. So I have a weighted body blanket. It's shaped like a leaf. So it fits right over someone's lap. It's deep green. I will try to link as much of the stuff that I have here in the description box for you, just so that you can actually kind of like see it. But I'm not going to take it out right now because then I'm not going to be able to put it back in the box. But yes, it is literally shaped like a leaf. It is deep green, and it's for like my calming corner, also like somewhat of a preferential seating type deal. So there's that. Functional 2, I saw this on Pocket Full of Primary, and I thought it was a really great idea. So instead of like having people knock on the door all the time, interrupting class, having 15,000 students running to the door at the same time because they want to be the door opener, she had this little thing. So I don't have the batteries in it yet, but I love that it's battery operated and it's wireless. It like Bluetooths to each other. So this is the doorbell piece that'll be outside of the classroom. They press this button and then this lights up. Now it does have sound, but you can also, like, I don't know if you can see that, but it does have sound buttons. You can make it louder, you can make it softer, you can change the tone of it, and you can also mute it. So this will be on whoever my door holder or um, whatever class job I name for the person who does the door. Someone outside will press this button because our doors are locked for security all the time. This will light up on that person's desk. They will walk to open the door and then they will come back to their seat. So this should hopefully avoid a lot of unnecessary interruptions. Um, just because it's kind of hard to get the kids back on track when everybody wants to know who's at the door and like 10 kids run over to the door because they want to be the one to open it. So this will be a class job, someone being in charge of this, and I think it's going to work out really well. um I plan to have like a nursing station type deal. I'm going to go to my nurse's office and get like band-aids and all that stuff, but I did want to get a thermometer for my class, and I went ahead and bought some extra probe things to go with them, just because I know that there are certain things that the nurse can do and can't do for kids. So with the whole going home thing, I'd rather them sit in the calming corner for a little bit than unnecessarily write a nurse pass. Now, if something crazy is going on or something prolonged is going on or whatever, I will send them down regardless. But if it's like my stomach hurts and it's the first time they told me for the day, I'll have them go to the bathroom, have them drink some water, check their temperature. I mean, if it's before lunch, you're probably hungry. If it's after lunch, maybe you ate too fast. So just some preventative measure stuff to help out my nurse. Um, I have these two. These are those magnet things, so like I can stick it on the whiteboard, and then I can put in like my markers, like my dry erase markers. Um, if I have the I can't think of it. If I have those little dry erase board erasers or little like things I need to change on the bulletin board, then this holds that. Another functional item, toothbrush holders. I saw this in like some random video. I can't even remember when, can't remember why I was watching it. But instead of having students have pencils all over the place in their desks or what have you, they can put 2 to 3 pencils in these, and then it'll be a lot easier for them to figure out what needs to be sharp and what needs to, stay in their pencil holder, because they could just open this up, look inside of it, and then swap everything out at the end. Again, I will probably talk about my procedures on another video. Let me know in the comment section if you do want that, because I'm actually getting pretty in-depth with them. Another functional item, I went ahead and bought these. One of the teachers in my school this past school year had something similar to this. They weren't exactly these. Hers were rectangular, but it's those little cord, there's a glare, those little cord things, and it has like an opening in it. So I'll have my kids whatever pencil they're using at the time, I'm going to have these stuck right by the pencil like tray on their desk. And this is where they're going to stick their pencil inside of. It's adhesive, it'll stay on the desk, and if they open their desk for something, their pencil won't fall on the floor. So a lot of unnecessary interruptions with that too. So excited to try these out. It seemed like it worked really well for her. Speaking of which, pencils, my school does have pencils, and sometimes we get sponsored by different community partners. But I also, just in case that wasn't going to be the case this year, I wanted to have some pre-sharpened pencils. So that is that. And in in this box, I have to put this together still, and I don't want to open it completely, but basically what this is, it's one of those cell phone like boxes. So you put it together. I think mine has 30 or 32 slots, and it has a lock and a door on it. So in the beginning of the day, kids will hand me their phones, and then I can take their phone, put it inside of a slot that'll match their student number, and then lock it up so there's no distractions, and then they get them at the end of the day type deal. Again, for another video for that process, but basically that's what this is. So I have to put it together. I'm not going to put it together until I get to my classroom, but that is what this is. And also, again, I got this from Amazon, so I will put the link in the description box for as many of these things as possible, so that if you would like to look at them or try them, then you have that. So other functional items. This is for my calendar. I have a bunch of stickers that I'm going to order at some point. And this is just a pocket chart I'm going to put them in so that they're displayed in my classroom. That way it's a quick little thing. Hey, you did a great job doing XYZ. I'm going to grab a sticker, put it on their desk, right? So super easy, super quick. Stickers are pretty cheap. I can pay like $10 and get like 100 or 200 stickers. So that's going to be a nice little positive reinforcement that's immediate and doesn't cost an arm and a leg. And then, these charts here, they match my like nature theme, but they have these little slots on them. So at my school, we do 3 different types of online learning. So there are 4 of these charts in here that I can switch between. They are laminated, so I am going to be able to use them over and over again. I'll just magic eraser them at the end of the year. So I'll put all of my students' names on them. I'll put like the days of the week so that they can know how many minutes they have, and they could just like check off or write in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever, so they can keep track, because I might have an extra incentive on Fridays for students who actually finished all their minutes. Obviously, in regard to like considering absences and all that jazz. So, another thing, paper cutter. I'm going to be doing a lot of cutting of things when I get stuff printed. So definitely a must. This is going to make my life a lot easier. I have magnetic paper. So this is going to be useful because I'm going to do I'm going to do one of those you will need like sections on my whiteboard. So I plan to print them on this magnetic paper. That way I don't have to buy extra magnets to like tape or adhere behind like regular paper. So this will be good. It has like 8 pieces in here. And I also got the matte one because I don't want it to be too shiny. I want them to be able to see it even with like the natural light in the classroom. So this is going to be good once I finish making them on Canva. I'm going to print them here and then just cut them out. And again, they can go inside of like these little things so that I can just kind of pull them out as I need to. I think this is my last. No, I have one more. So functional item. This here is just vacuum sealed. Again, I'm not going to pull it out right now, but it's the rug for my classroom. It's like a green moss rug that's going to go underneath my calming chair, which I'm probably just going to get from Walmart. I'm just going to find a comfy chair from Walmart that's not a beanbag chair. But yeah, it's literally just a big circle, and it's moss green, and it's fluffy on the other side. Super simple. Last thing I have is tack-it tape. If you have never used tack-it tape, this is your sign to use tack-it tape. So for like kids who are special needs, right? Sometimes they have those like schedule charts. You could put a little bit of this on the back of their card, and when you like go, you can like peel it off and put it on the other spot. You just make sure it's laminated. You don't have to put this on both spots. You could put this on whatever one they're going to move, and it's going to stick. I might make a video about how I use this if you want to see that, because my son is going to be using some type of like scheduling chart and just being able to like speak and move stuff. So I'm going to do his over the summertime at some point. So if you want to see that process, or even if you just want to see the end result, leave a comment in the comment section, because then I will know that that is what you want to see. But if you don't have this, you need to get it. So that is all for like my functional stuff. I will talk about a couple of things that I have for my calming corner, which I have some stuff from my pack room from last year. So if you have not seen my video about my favorite things from the pack room that were in my calming corner, all of that stuff is going to be in my calming corner in my classroom. So I'm not going to show that stuff again. So again, if you want to know what those other items are, go ahead and go to that video. I'll try to link it as well so that you can see that really quickly. But I will have all of those things. Plus, I did find the other breathing ball that I wanted that was multicolored. So this will go with the other ones that I have. And then I have these like stress squeeze balls. This one says, yes, I can do it. I have another one that says, don't give up. This blue one says, take a deep breath. And the fourth one says, keep calm, keep relaxed, keep going. So I liked these because even if like the student needs to take this back to their desk to keep them motivated, they can do that and it's not a huge distraction. Otherwise, they can kind of just squeeze it over in the calm down corner, as they please. Another thing that I have for my calm down corner that I really, really liked when I saw online, it's like a Rubik's Cube, right? But it comes in different shapes. So I'll just take out, well, this one is a square. So like normal, right? But this one is a triangle. So it has a different color size for a triangle. And it's slightly bigger. So they're different sizes too, because, kids come in different sizes. And then this one, so they're all kind of different. And so I'm going to have those in my calming corner because I feel like some kids, like me, as an adult, but some kids like to manipulate things with their hands to calm down, or just the mental of it. So I'm going to like squish these all up and move them around, and then I'm going to put them in my calming corner. And the act of like focusing on something else might help my kids calm down faster than just sitting there. On that same note, the last things that I have that are new for my calming corner are word searches. So kids will be able to read books over there too, like if they want to flip through a picture book or something. But something else to get the mind going if the Rubik's Cube type deal is not their vibe, but they still are somebody who needs to see or do or, something like that. Just trying to play toward the different learning styles for ways to calm down too is kind of what my thinking process was. So hopefully it works. I talked about stickers for a incentive, but I also have some eraser things too. I don't know if you can see, it's like clocks and hearts and rainbows and whatnot. And then I have some emoji ones as well. So these will be like little quick things too that I can give to the kids. Again, I have a couple things of these and they weren't very expensive. So there's that. Oh, I had it all covered up. And last thing for real this time, for functional, I have these clipboard holders. I've seen these in a lot of videos, and it just is going to be really nice to hold the whiteboard clipboards that I have. So I'm going to be putting this together when I get to my classroom too, because it's going to be definitely good for the organization and just kind of like the student center that I plan to put together in my room, so all the kids know where their specific things are in their specific areas. So that goes to functionality. Random, I have these that I'm going to laminate. There's 5 of them. I plan to have 5 kids in my small group all the time. One of the things we're probably going to have to work on is penmanship. So I have these for them for that. That's just like a random something I got from Dollar Tree. So yeah, so last part of what I have are books. And when I say books, I mean like holy books. Yeah, so many books, like a ridiculous amount of books. And I love every single moment of these books. I will insert a picture up here of like just all the books that I have sitting here with me that are new for my classroom. Sorry, my legs were kind of hurting. But I have like some books for the first week of school. So I've got Ish. I have What If Everybody Did That? First Day Jitters, Magical Yet, All Are Welcome, A Letter from Your Teacher, and Our Class is a Family. So those, I also have the name jar, but I have no idea where I put it, but that is also a book that I'm going to be using for like some first week of school activities. I have some of these Who Is, Who Was books, which I think are going to be really great, especially for social studies. Lots of graphic novels. So I've got this one, I've got New Kid, Class Act. I've got a bunch of different ones because I feel like graphic novels might be the way to get a lot of my kids who are kind of adverse to reading to read, because even though I don't have an official class list, I know the potential of who my kids could be. So I know that graphic novels are going to be a really good catalyst to get some interest in reading. I also have like different volumes of like Judy Blume books. I have some like investigative and mystery type books. I have, these are my favorites. So I have engineering book, ocean book, bug book, science book, human body book, animal book, and space book. Love these. There's so many good and interesting facts in here, and it's not overwhelming. So like on the pages, it's there's not too much information, and that goes for all of them. There's not a bunch of craziness on every single like page, but the kids will be able to learn things and play into their interests. I kind of want my kids to, not kind of, I want my kids to be thinkers. I want them to think about things that they are interested in, things that they can do with themselves as they get older and stuff like that. I also have some leveled readers. Now, I know that in school and as a first year teacher, people like to say do not have leveled readers. But I am a big fan of leveled readers to a certain extent, especially if you can find stuff kids are interested in. Like I have a lot of students who like Teen Titans. I have kids that like Scooby-Doo, SpongeBob, different animals and stuff like that. And if they're not strong readers, this will be an opportunity to help them become strong readers by them reading something they're interested in, is my thinking. If you are a veteran teacher, or even if you are a first year teacher, second year teacher, and you have an opinion about leveled readers, I would love to hear about that in the comment section. I am all about learning so that I can be better for my students. I have a few of these books too, where it's like multiple stories inside of like one book. I focused a lot on Pokemon and Minecraft. And then I also have essentially a Pokédex, because kids are always bringing Pokemon cards to school, so maybe they can actually read something to learn about those cards. We'll take that negative into a positive. So when they're doing independent reading, maybe they go through this and read about like more information about their Pokemon, so it still gets them reading. The other thing that I want to say about my books are I really tried to focus on multilingual books. So like I love the book Dragons Love Tacos. But if I have a student who we have a very high Hispanic population at our school, so if I have two students that want to read it, one is English, one is Spanish, then they both can read it together. Um, Also, too, one of my endorsements is in English as a second language or English language learners. And so I really want my kids who speak Spanish, which again, high population of Hispanic speaking students, if they are learning how to read in their language or if they already know how to read in their language, I would love for them to continue to build on that skill. So I have Dragons Love Tacos in English and Spanish. I have the second one in English and Spanish. I even picked up a couple Dogman books in English and Spanish, Diary of a Wimpy Kid books in English and Spanish, regular just little stories in English and Spanish. This chapter book is in English and in Spanish, so it has multiple stories, and students can, read through this. Even if it's just a Spanish speaking student who's learning English, they can have the stories in there and they have both languages available to them. I have even books like picture books and stuff. I read this one in school for a class and it was a wonderful book and I loved it a lot. So I have that one. I even have like series of books. So like I have some of these monster books. I was trying to find um there's another monster book that my son used to have and I can't remember what the name of it is, but I'm going to try to find that one too once I remember what it is. And then I have like I'm telling y'all my book game is crazy right now. More Than Peach. Ooh, caught it. Hair Love. More like natural disastery type science books. Math is usually intimidating, so I plan to read this during math to help some kids, out. I saw this book in my in my I think it was like reading for adolescents college course, and it was so great as like a graphic novel. The pictures in it are black and white, so it's not like overwhelming and there's not a lot of words on the pages. It's like a graphic novel mashup type deal, but it's based off of Beowulf, but just like a kid friendly version kind of sorta. So got that one too. And then let's see, another important book. It's like a women history book, 52 stories of fearless daredevils, adventurers, and rebels. So, women in history, which is very important. More mystery books, and then some scientist books. So, when we start doing units on social studies about these folks, I have some supplementary reading. The kids can do that. I have a lot more books, but those are just kind of like the gist of them: mystery, English, Spanish, history, who is, first week of school, graphic novels, humor, science, all the things. So I tried to hit as many genres as humanly possible for my classroom library because my classroom right now doesn't have an overabundance of books. So I went ahead and started going through my Amazon wish list and just getting a couple of those things. Some of the things were given to me, which I'm super grateful for from like family and stuff. But for the most part, my husband and I went ahead and ordered a lot of different things for my classroom that I know is going to add to my students' learning experience and even my son. So, like, my son's been looking through some of these books. He loves reading. He loves looking at pictures. He's getting a lot better with his speech through reading. So, he's been looking through some of these as well. He has his own library in his room. So, I might even swap out some things based off of his interest in them. So, I am going to go ahead and end this here. It was pretty big Amazon haul. And again, I didn't show you every single book. Oh, I did want to highlight this really fast. I also have poetry. I don't know if you've read this, leave a comment. I loved Where the Sidewalk Ends. I remember this from when I was in school. So, poetry. And then this William Shakespeare one that I saw, I read through it a little bit in school, but not all of it. But they're actually really, really good ones in here. And I love like the whole watercolor vibe. So, poetry. Now, like I said before, I will leave you all here. Again, I hope you are enjoying your summer. If you are still doing summer school, hopefully that ends for you soon so you can enjoy. If you are currently done with summer school, again, hopefully you are taking that time to refresh and reset. New teachers like me, let me just remind you, as I have to remind myself all the time, to just take a second, chill, take a breath. So, um, if you are new to my channel, welcome. I should have said that in the beginning. I apologize. If you are returning to my channel, welcome back. I appreciate my folks that are here for the first time, and I appreciate everyone who has been with me starting this journey. Um, Please don't forget to like and subscribe so that you don't miss any current. Bleh. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you don't miss any future content. Like I said, if you want me to go through my routines and procedures that I'm going to have for my first year of school, don't forget to comment that below. If you would like me to kind of like elaborate on anything from this video, go ahead and, comment that. I'd love to know what things anyone else is getting. If there's something that I don't have that would be beneficial to my classroom, comment that below. I'd love to figure out what those things are. I'd love to look into them, see how I can implement them possibly, or if I just don't use them at all, maybe pass that along to someone. So, thank you guys for staying this long. I appreciate you. You guys are wonderful. You're great. I cannot wait to continue sharing this experience with you, and I will see you in the next one.